That's New York basketball. The Knicks dominated, destroyed, embarrassed the Indiana Pacers. And in the process, we protected home court and got our first victory of the regular season. Karl-Anthony Towns was dominant. Mikal Bridges found his shot again. But the more eye-opening performance was Josh Hart. He proved why he deserves to stay in the starting lineup. If New York plays defense and the starting unit clicks like that each and every night, we are going to be unstoppable. We're going to break down all of this and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Cat dominates in his MSG debut, and Josh Hart goes off. This Knicks team that took the floor against the Indiana Pacers last night looked completely different than the team that faced off against the Boston Celtics on opening night. And you can see that starting in the first quarter. As soon as they started, defensively, they looked different, especially from the perimeter. Offensively, everybody was moving. Everybody was aggressive. Everybody was attacking the basket. And you know what happens when you do that? The defense starts to guess. They don't know who's going to get the ball, who's going to attack, and where they're going to attack from. Are they going to shoot a three? Are they going to play the pick and roll? Are they going to pass inside? Are they going to drive inside, take contact, and go to the line? The Pacers had no idea what to do, and it showed. And the Knicks took full advantage of it. We're talking about Jalen Brunson getting anything he wants. Karl-Anthony Towns not settling for the three, but dominating inside, bullying his way inside, rebounding the ball, blocking shots, and getting whatever he wants. By halftime, the Knicks were up near 20 points. And then by the end of the third quarter, we were up 30 points on the Pacers, a team that people were comparing to the Knicks this season, a playoff matchup. Everybody said that even if the Knicks were healthy last year against the Pacers, it still would have been a competitive matchup. I hope we quieted down those narratives and everybody understands right now that the Knicks are over here and Indiana is all the way over here. We're not even in the same hemisphere. New York is a better team, and we proved why last night. Domination, destruction. They couldn't do anything. We embarrassed the Pacers, and we sent the message to the league. What you saw with the Boston game is not who we are. Keep watching us because you're going to see us continue to gel, get better, and once that happens, watch out because what happens to Indiana is going to happen to you too. The Knicks destroyed the Pacers 123-98. Shout out to James L. Edwards of The Athletic for giving us this following information as well too. Every starter was comfortably into double-digit scoring. Hart and Cat with double-doubles each. Thought that Brunson set the tone for the lopsided win with how he attacked Indiana's defense in the first half. Really good night from Bridges, too. A full team effort from the Knicks. Jalen with 26 points. Cat with 21 points. Josh Hart with 20 points. OG Anunoby, 14 points. And Mikal Bridges with 21 points. One of the most impressive things we saw last night as well is that everybody was aggressive. Everybody was attacking. Even though Jalen Brunson set the tone, it wasn't the Jalen Brunson show. It wasn't the Karl-Anthony Towns show. Jalen Brunson shined in some moments. Karl-Anthony Towns, he shined in some moments. Same thing with Josh Hart. Same thing with Mikal Bridges. Same thing with OG Anunoby. Each and every starter was able to showcase their ability, show out in their own individual way, and showcase their talent. That's what we need to see. It was sacrifice in a different way because this level of sacrifice allowed everybody to score, everybody to be aggressive, everybody to eat. And that's how the Knicks become unstoppable. This is how we become dominant. When we're moving without the ball, we did that. When we're moving the ball, we did that. And when we're scoring aggressively, and we were doing that all night long, that contributed to the Knicks blowing out the Indiana Pacers. But there were two stats last night that jumped off the page, and I want to go through them really quickly. First of all, the three-point percentage. The Knicks shot 27 three-pointers, and we made 12 of them for 44%. Conversely, the three-point percentage for the Pacers was 10%. That's not a typo. That's what the Knicks held the Pacers to from the perimeter. 10%. They shot 30 three-pointers and only made 3 of them. They only made 3. Some of them were open, wide open, and they couldn't hit it. A lot of them were defended properly, were contested properly. We were pushed up against our man. We didn't make it easy for them. We had a hand in their face, and each and every time they were missing. They were not communicating, and that led to them turning over the ball. And each and every time they turned over the ball, the Knicks converted that into points. It led to us blowing out the Pacers. They just could not control the ball well, and a lot of it had to do with the all-star matchup between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Haliburton. And let me tell you something. While Jalen Brunson did his thing, he went off, and he was doing Jalen Brunson things. Tyrese Haliburton actually took an off day, and he was working at Dunkin' Donuts because what he gave Indiana last night was a 0. Let me remind you guys, Tyrese Haliburton is getting paid $42 million this season in guaranteed money, and he gave Indiana last night 0. He gave Indiana as many points as I gave the Knicks last night. 0 points. Shout out to New York Basketball on the app X for giving us the following information. Tyrese Haliburton last night, 0 points, 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3, -23. Game worst. Haliburton said the following after the game. We just missed shots. No. You missed shots. You missed 8 shots. You took 7 threes. After you missed 5 threes, you thought it was a good idea to take 2 more. You did that. Not we, you. Haliburton continues here by saying, listen, last time we were in this building, we probably played the best game of the season. And today will be the worst game of the season. They're a good team. We'll see them again. You will see us again. And when you see us again, maybe you'll have 0 points again. But you know what you'll see again? Absolutely. Without a doubt, you'll see Jalen Brunson dominate the matchup once again and show you why he is the one who actually belonged in the Olympics. Not Tyrese Haliburton, not the man who was working for Dunkin' Donuts, not him. Jalen Brunson, who did Jalen Brunson things and went off in his own way, set the tone, and was one of the main reasons the Knicks won this game. Let's look at what our superstar did against Indiana last night. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 of 5 from three-point line. Brunson got whatever he wanted. He did whatever he wanted. He controlled the pace. He went inside the paint at will, broke down the defense at will, got to the line at will, was shooting threes whenever he wanted to, passed the ball after he penetrated and created to an open shooter. And that was Jalen Brunson at his best. We saw Brunson doing exactly what he did last year, just at a different level, because the roster around him this year is so much better. He trusts the pass so much more, and he knows when he gives it up, he doesn't even have to look at the ball again. He knows that player is going to do something with it. They're either going to attack, they're going to drive, they're going to shoot the ball, but they're going to do something that doesn't require Jalen Brunson's help. And that's the difference with this team this year. Everybody can attack, everybody can get their points, and everybody can do something with the rock. And that makes them impactful. It makes them different, but it also makes Jalen Brunson's job just a little bit easier. When you have the likes of Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, off the bench, Deuce McBride, who had his own game, who was able to be consistent. Each and every time Deuce touches the ball off the bench, I just believe it's going to go in because he's worked on his game. He's worked on his craft so many years now that ball is just mechanical. It's just what his work is showing you. When you put in that level of work and you do it consistently each and every day, you're not even thinking about it. It's like a machine. You get the ball, it goes up, it goes in, and then you repeat the process each and every time. Deuce looks like that out there. He is a machine, an absolute beast on offense and on defense. And Jalen Brunson, the exact same thing. Maybe not the same way defensively, but you know what he does? He takes charges. He puts his body on the line. And that's what I want my superstar point guard to do. Do everything possible to get the Knicks an extra possession. He does that. That's why I'll never kill him on defense. Somebody else you got to give credit to is Karl-Anthony Towns. 21 points, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks, 5 of 11. Bodega Cat was in his bag. He was attacking down low. He was shooting the three. He was getting to the line. This was the matchup that I wanted to see as well. I wanted to see if Karl-Anthony Towns, with a known shot blocker in Miles Turner, would just settle for the three. He didn't do that. He took it to Miles. He was aggressive with Miles. He got Miles into foul trouble. He was able to get to the line, sometimes off of an and one, sometimes off of a miss, but it didn't matter. He was able to convert and get points. Rebounding, this is what I wanted to see. It needs to be a collective effort on rebound for the Knicks to win. And that's the other stat I want to take a look at that we didn't take a look at initially. We talked about the three-point percentage, but the rebounding also jumped off the page. If you look at these stats here, the Knicks had 43 rebounds, 11 of them offensive. To the Pacers, 33 rebounds, 9 of theirs were offensive. If the Knicks are guarding the three like that, 10%, and they're beating you on the rebounding boards, and you have all of the starters being aggressive like this, there is no way that we can lose. We're just too dominant, too unstoppable, and when everything is clicking like that, when the chemistry looks like that, when we're dominating defensively like that, we're just one of the hardest teams in the league to beat. And when you have Karl-Anthony Towns playing like this, getting you 21 points and 15 rebounds, throwing in 2 blocks as well too, giving you that level of defense that you need, giving you the rebounds that you need in Mitchell Robinson's absence. This is how the Knicks are going to win games and dominate other teams. And I don't think this is a flash in the pan. I don't think this is just a one-game thing. The Knicks are capable of this performance each and every single night. We have the talent, we have the coach, and we have the ability to do this against any team, including Boston. I can't wait to see them again so we can embarrass them just like we embarrassed Indiana last night. But against the Pacers, somebody else on the Knicks impressed me a lot. And we're talking about Mikal Bridges. We spoke about him a little bit early on in this video, but look at his stat line against Indiana last night. He had 21 points, ladies and gentlemen, 5 assists, 8 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Mikal Bridges did exactly what I wanted him to do. He was driving and he was aggressive inside. He didn't settle for the three. He didn't start off the game shooting threes. What he did was he built up his confidence. He went inside, he drove inside, and he started taking mid-range shots, shots that are easier for him. And he saw the ball go into the hoop. And each and every time he saw that, his confidence went up. He thought he could hit any shot he threw up. He started to hit mid-range after mid-range. And then in that third quarter, he started to shoot the three. His shot looks a lot better this game than it did against the Boston game. It looks smoother. He's not thinking about it as much, and he's not holding the ball as much. What I'm noticing with Mikal Bridges is if he holds the ball too long and he's thinking, you'll see that hitch in his shot a lot more. But if he catches the ball and shoots it right away or without thinking or has that level of confidence that it's going to go in, that hitch really doesn't show itself. And that shot looks a lot more fluid. Last night we saw that, and that's why he was hitting every single shot, basically, that he put up. 21 points, basically his best game as a Knick. If Mikal Bridges gives you that performance every night, we're going to be an even bigger problem. You can't have the Knicks have Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson go off, and then you have Mikal Bridges scoring maybe 20, 21 points a night, giving you that level of defense, playing the passing lanes, and also playing on ball while Jalen Brunson is off ball because he's capable of doing that. We saw that last night against Indiana. He was controlling the ball at times, and Jalen Brunson was playing off of him. And during those moments, the Knicks are even more dangerous because you don't know who's going to shoot, who's going to score, and where Jalen Brunson is going to be. You have to follow him all around the court. And that's a problem for the opposing team and a benefit for New York. Another benefit for New York is when all of the starters remain aggressive and they are attacking. In the preseason, we saw what it was, 4-on-5. I called it out. Last night, that was not the case at all. Josh Hart went off. What he did during this game, I wish we saw it against the Celtics. I'll give him credit, though. Even though he didn't do this against the Celtics, he was way more aggressive in Boston than he was ever in the preseason. And that continued against Indiana. But during this game, he was even more aggressive. He went coast to coast a number of times. He looked for his shot a number of times. He was hitting threes. He was driving inside. He was using his body to get contact. He was finding other players as well, too. Josh Hart did a little bit of everything last night. But most importantly, he was aggressive, he was scoring, and if he does this, there's no need to talk about him going to the bench, because the reason a lot of us wanted Josh Hart to start is because we thought we were going to see this Josh Hart, the same Josh Hart we saw last year, the player that was aggressive, going coast to coast, capable of getting a triple-double. You saw his stat line, ladies and gentlemen, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. And sometimes when he passed the ball, the people he passed the ball to were not able to hit a shot. If they were, his assist total could maybe be 5 or 6. So again, he was still able to be potentially a triple-double threat. He's capable of that every single night. We need this Josh Hart. You get this Hart, good luck to the league, because the Knicks are going to be unstoppable, unbeatable. We're going to go toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in the league. And sometimes we're going to be able to run them off the court. When things are clicking like this, when we're aggressive like this, when we're playing defense like this, perimeter defense, interior defense, making sure each and every shot is hard on them, when we have 2 of the best wings in the game playing that level of defense like Mikal Bridges, like OG Anunoby, you can't do anything against us. Defensively, we're going to suffocate you. Offensively, we're going to shoot you out of the gym, drive inside the paint, and get you into foul trouble, and you're not going to know what to do. Rick Carlisle had no idea what to do against New York during our run. Second quarter, New York goes on a major run. We're up near 20 points. Carlisle doesn't know what to do. Third quarter, we're up near 30 points. Carlisle scratching his head, doesn't know what to do. That problem right there is going to be a league-wide problem. The issues you saw Carlisle have last night, the problems with the lineups, the matchups, what to do, who to play, who to put on Brunson, who to put on Cat. Should he double? Should he play single coverage? Should he throw all his players inside the paint? Carlisle had no idea how to defend the Knicks last night, what to do against them. They were unpredictable. And that's the key to winning for New York. Being unpredictable on defense and on offense. If they don't know who's going to defend them, where the double is going to come from, or on the offensive side, if they don't know where the ball is going to be scored from, who's going to drive it inside, who's going to score, that unpredictability will cause lapses on the defensive end for the opposing team. And when that happens, the Knicks will take full advantage of that. Jalen Brunson was one of the first people we saw yesterday do that against Indiana. I anticipate and expect to see more of what I saw last night moving forward for this Knicks team. That Boston game for me was an outlier. We turned the page on that. That Knicks squad you saw that night, you're never going to see them again. What you are going to see is the Knicks building on this victory against Indiana and becoming an even better team than we saw last night each and every game. And if that happens, if we can become even better than what we saw last night, if there's another level to this team, and spoiler alert, there is, when we go up against Boston again, or the other top tier teams in the league, we're going to embarrass them just as bad as we embarrassed Indiana last night. But what about you guys? What did you think about the Knicks' dominant home victory against the Pacers? What did you like from that game? What were some things that you want the Knicks to improve on? Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.